Hollywood was Bob Shapiro. So Bob Shapiro was the first lead counsel. As the case was going on, they realized that Bob was actually leading O.J. Simpson into kind of admitting and also calming the situation down. But they realized that the case could have been won, or the case can be won with other factors, including racism, because O.J. Simpson was then black. Then there was, at the time, the LAPD, or the Los Angeles Police Division, was seen as um, a department that attacked black people, because they had some few agents in there who had made several racial comments.
Right.
I think one of them was German, And so, in that case, they had to bring in a black lawyer to replace Bob Shapiro as the lead counsel. And they went in for Johnny Cochran. Now, Johnny Cochran came in as also he was popular, he was black, he was a good litigator. But they saw the need to bring in a black lawyer because they knew it was going to resonate with the jury, and it was also going to resonate with the black community, as though the case is being turned on a black person because he is great. And so they want to spoil his name. So Johnny Cochran also came in to do a very good job. And he was known for saying, if the gloves don't fit, you must acquit. So he brought a certain passion to the case. At the point, the jury was confused, especially when O.J. Simpson was asked to try the gloves and they didn't work. No, but you see, in summary, what I'm trying to say is that you could see Johnny Cochran making the case his own and diverting what the prosecutors were doing, because the prosecutors also came in with Marshall Clark, who was white. They later realized that they also need a black lawyer. I've forgotten the name of that lawyer. They need a black lawyer. And the black lawyer was actually introduced because Johnny Cochran had now come on the scene. So even though evidences were pointing to the fact that O.J. Simpson had really killed the wife and the other guy, the case had now become something else. The gloves didn't fit. Now we are bringing in racism, where they have brought an agent from the LAP who has been found to be a racist. So the case now shifted from murder to racism. A black man being punished for an unknown crime, and they want to pin it down. They are now looking at evidences being manhandled, because it looked like the evidences that were picked up from the scene were done in a very reckless way. And instead of the agents taking it to the forensics at the time of the crime, he took it to his house. So when it came to the light that was what happened, the jury were confused that if indeed you are found to be racist and you took the evidences home, then it's a clear indication that there has been some manipulation. But long story short, we see how everybody in a case, especially a criminal case, is ready to win the case. They will go any extra mile, assuming O.J. Simpson admitted that yes, he killed their wife. Johnny Cochran or the lawyers will not go in there to admit. They must defend, because that is what you have paid. You have been paid for. That's what you have been paid to do. So you must do everything for the jury and the judge to admit that indeed, even though some of the evidences show that I could be the culprit, I'm actually not the culprit. So that's with regards to the case. Back to Ghana. So with Ghana, let me just sum everything up so that's a bit too comfortable. So you see, popular lawyers, obviously, if every lawyer wants to be popular, if it's kind of thing, let's say 80% of lawyers want to be popular, because that is what brings you money. You cannot be doing human rights cases, everyday rape case, divorce case, maybe someone doing pro bono cases, and you might not really be that guy. People retire out of the law and their names are never heard. All they know is that they have learned colleagues. But if you really want to be there, I think politics also plays a role. And in Ghana, if you want to be out there, if you want to be a good communicator, if you want to even be a good lawyer, you need a good journalist. You must be well learned in law, politics itself, and probably the economy. So at least you must know, you must at least do truth or know truth. So when you pick a journalist like maybe Bernard Abley of CTFM, you can tell that he's good with economy. He's also good with maybe not really the law, but politics. So it helps him do a proper discourse. You see, some of our journalists, the reason why they know the people that they don't really know. They were just into journalism and they were employed by some media house and they are doing it. But when you see the people who have really learned, you appreciate their work
For
a
real.
lot. Same with the lawyers. Same with the lawyers. A lawyer can be found good in civil cases and also found good in criminal cases. But there are always people that stand out, especially when they handle high profile cases that everybody thought was going to be. For example, Eddie Boyne's case. If Eddie Boyne ends up to be a free man, his lawyer, Atachia, becomes the champion of the day. Now, Atachia's law fees will eventually shoot up. It was skyrocketed, even though he's a big man already in the law. He's popular. He's a known MPP man, former member of parliament, succeeded the Kufuor in his constituency. He's a popular guy in the MPP. He carries weight when he speaks about the law. If anyone no go jail, that guy is the top guy now. That is because the Attorney General has made it very clear that he's dealing with the criminal. In fact, he has made a public belief that a new boy, the criminal, he could go inside. So if it doesn't happen that way, then the defendant's lawyer becomes very popular, and he's also political, you know. So you make a lesson for you, make sure to talk one or two, but obviously there's a lot to say as the conversation goes on. So I think.
Yo, Charlie, Mr. Koranteng, that'll be some very insightful things. Yeah, long time. Hope say you cool.
I think cool, but you don't reach it. Class
Oh, Charlie. Yo, fire.
More like Segbe. Wagwan.
Also, bro, I do.
I see.
Oh, myself, I know plans here, I will talk plenty, but I just want to speak to the topic. Then the question be, what are the factors you consider before hiring a lawyer? Me, I dey feel like law get several like fields, top fields for inside, right? We get lawyers they be very good for criminal law, some be good for civil law. Be like Mr. Cranton said, we talk on those things. Some lawyers be very good constitutional lawyers, human rights lawyers and stuff. So it depends
I
on
beg,
the kind of
make I ask some quick question.
yeah.
So, say embezzlement, but it wasn't
Uh-huh.
a government company. Say it be private
Uh-huh.
company embezzlement.
Uh-huh.
Lawyer Wade, if he win cases like that
Uh-huh.
for the accused,
Yeah.
does he
Yeah.
still get a chance to increase in fees, or the embezzlement for the government versus the lawyer and client?
Embezzlement go fit be private matter safe. Not necessarily for the government. Sometimes you embezzle private company in funds.
So, all right. So, if you be lawyer,
So,
say you be lawyer way.
that's embezzlement.
You say?
Make a drop this. Maybe it will answer your question. So embezzlement between a company and a worker is a civil case.
It's a civil case.
Right.
Embezzlement, let's say a minister embezzle funds
From state coffers, then it's a criminal.
Yeah.
That's a criminal. That's a criminal case. In that manner, whoever is the prosecutor must come with proper evidence. Whoever is the defendant must also come with proper evidence. If it's a criminal case, the prosecutor is the attorney general. If it's a civil case, the prosecutor or whoever got the charge must seek for a lawyer. Then the defendant, who is the accused, must also go in for a lawyer. So that one, the onus is on the person or the individuals to look for their lawyers. But when it's a criminal case, the attorney general is strictly the prosecutor, and the defendant also have the right to choose a lawyer. Either way the case will go, any of the lawyers will make their name, whether it's the criminal case or the civil case. The attorney general can be seen as good if he's able to prosecute some of the cases, a lot of the cases, high profile cases. If the attorney general is able to get the job done, he will be seen as a very good litigator. In a civil case, if the company goes for a lawyer that is able to, apprehend that culprit, that lawyer will also be seen as good, depending on the nature of the company. That is how the public will get to know.
Right. So yeah, both ways, lawyer go fit still increase in price. You don't need the whole political affiliation and popularity to increase in price.
You see, fire the lawyers and they like the political affiliation. They like them because it may go push you to the limelight. Most of the people that do lawyers because of politics. You understand? Me, my interest for law began way after I realized that I found myself in the wrong course. But I realized that I really like the law. But it came as a result of me liking politics. And if I become a lawyer, I will definitely be a communicator. I don't think I will be doing divorces and all that. I will be into politics one way or the other. Without the law, I can still do politics. But I've watched so many programs or I've heard so many discussions where when you are not found to be a lawyer, you seem not to be listening to. It be like your word no stand. Like maybe the topic be the one where you know the lawyer way, then get other two lawyers. Even though you get good points, they don't they take you serious like that because lawyers they why make a listen to you. Where I realize the law they add a lot to political discussion.
Then this lawyer Ampao guy he try for himself. Wow.
Which of Akoto Ampao?
No, the lawyer Muslim guy.
And want to mean guy, yeah.
Muslim guy, they do more human rights cases, but obviously has declared himself to be MPP. Will be like he handle one or two cases too before everybody they make everybody see the MPP guy. But obviously want to give him some platform. But because he was a social commentator, so he became popular within the rural areas. No rural areas, but let's say.
Now I feel say be a Samaja in case we boss him.
Yeah, that was happened. So you see that one like this, because it was a civil case and the person involved was popular. It made him popular, bro. You see, really, he did talk. He was very, available.
Yeah, and the image too. The way you face the,
And that was the way they talk. You see, he talked some controversial things with people look you would like listening to what he didn't mean by that. So he got some numbers from there. But honestly speaking, I don't think, let's say MPP gets some keys, high profile keys, he will be an option, no matter what he has done.
If you be Nigeria, they will call him Osakpolo. Aquare, hey. But yeah, and invoice too. It's sport there. I better continue the segment.
Yeah, so then what are the talk we say for the law to we get like how we call them subfields for inside, right? Some lawyers they be good for criminal, like they be good criminal lawyers, but if you put them on constitutional case, like then go flop, right? So based on what your case be, then the lawyer you go for, right? To the point where sometimes if the lawyer will be very competent for that case, if no even go feed the party where they affiliate to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes in political views they conflict with your political views, but the case where you get that lawyer gets some kind of competence where if you go higher, they go feel make you win the case, right? But make we use some case in point. Akufo-Addo in uncle, right? William Oforiatta, one of the big six. Under a champion, then they pursue him, right? You go believe some of the council with and in legal team. There was strategic attack. There was Akufo-Addo himself. Where then they sacked Joe Randolph. You wouldn't believe this. Then Chikata Akufo-Addo, the Akufo-Addo we all know, right? Then Joe Randolph, then they the bench way, then they defend William Oforiatta. You ever go believe say Chikata then Akufo-Addo go day in the same camp with Joe Randolph? They defend Akufo-Addo in ankle.
No.
Yeah, but like for that particular case, we all know say Chikata if it comes to constitutional affairs and stuff, right? That being special. Right. So for that particular case, then they matter whether right? He did in like did the UP camp, be UGCC, somebody where they align with those kind of political ideologies. They still put them on. There are so many other people where then go fit put
All
for
right. So
that
so
case.
so 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 may I ask you this?
Yeah.
If you say Chikata take the job because of the money, or
Not because of
he
no,
felt say
not because of the money. It's of the law firm. So Chikata worked, right? Chikata worked for the law firm where then Joe Randolph did top. Right. That law firm, Akufo-Addo to work for them before. There are other people where then did a law firm who could have been on the case. But then incompetence I'll actually outshone most of the people for the law firm there. So they put them on. Because at the end of the day, the main goal was to win the case.
right.
Was to prevent Buzia from detaining William Oforiatta.
But
That was the main
but this is what
point
I'm
of it.
asking.
Yeah.
Considering Chikata's background,
Mm-hmm.
he was supposed to be against Oforiatta them.
Yes.
So what will make it be with, or what will influence in choice of being with them, if you don't be
Okay,
money?
so one, then it count if it comes to constitutional law around the time, right? Then he be one of the best legal brains for constitutional law inside. That be one point. Another point to be say, as he did Legon, in roommate for Legon Hall, the Duke Dankwa, who was William Oforiatta's nephew. So it was William Oforiatta, they pay visit, right? They see Chachu and all of that. He had a close connection with the man. That was another reason for him to join on that case.
Right. So on Friendship Day.
Friendship Day, where competence in that particular field of the legal matter too.
All right. Yeah.
It's always about being able to win the case.
Right. So, but you have any information about Akufo-Addo in reputation in law?
Oh,
As a lawyer, do you think he was a good
See,
lawyer?
definitely a lot of people will argue that he was a good lawyer, right? He became attorney general, right? He win several constitutional law cases too for Ghana.
Oh, okay.
Right. So yeah, he was a good lawyer, but the only issue regarding his law practice be how he qualified to the bar.
Right.
So this be where it gets a bit controversial. Then your guy did Oxford, where for some reason he dropped out. So there's no record of him graduating from Oxford. Right. But then people too know say he entered into Oxford, and we don't know the reason why, he no graduate. Right. So then he dropped out, and he came to do economics at Legon, graduated with third class. That is also published, right? It be record way. If you go Legon, right, they won't find out. They can then go official proof day, right?
Everybody, sorry. So let me just check on this. The Legon, he not study law for Legon.
I said he studied economics. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
That's what I said. So for the UK where we did now, to become a lawyer, it not be say you for go school, go do LLB before you go feel qualified to the bar. You can become a lawyer through the apprenticeship route. You know, so people know they go university to become lawyers. Then they attach themselves to some law chambers. Then they train them. Then they get practical hands-on legal training. Right. Then they them actually they and their lawyers. Then they serve them. Then they watch them at practice. Then they learn them. Then they learn on the job. So that's exactly how Akufo-Addo, right? He did his legal apprenticeship, right, in his father's chambers in London. Right. And he qualified as a solicitor, called to the bar before he came Ghana. That's how he became a lawyer. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's how he became
Somebody
a
just
lawyer.
post something for the Twitch chat. He say in May 2016, Akufo-Addo was bestowed honorary Doctor of Law degree from Fort Hare